Today, family, is our third freelance offense of the year, and this one is gonna be motion 4 out, 1 in. It is a very interesting freelance because the branches are plentiful and there's lots of options, but the options come after the branches. The motion 4-1 offense is the most interesting because instead of focusing on just the space or just the branches, you're actually going to use both. You're going to start off using the branches of the play, and then you're going to flow into your normal stuff. To me, this is probably the offense that takes the most basketball IQ, therefore the most fun. So without further delay, let's get right into it. Now, we'll begin with the setup. This is actually a little bit more difficult. You start off like you normally do, but the motion 4 out 1 in is like in the 6th page. So it's going to take you a long time to scroll down the pages, so be prepared for that. Now, we'll begin by first taking a look at all the branches in sequence. So the great thing about this freelance is that once it gets started, it's always going to be these branches. All of these branches are designed just to get you one thing: a screen 3-pointer. You can see Moskov will screen JR catches it, no free. If you hold on to it, there comes another screen, over, it's going to free the corner man. If there's no free, you hold on to it and there comes another screen. All of these branches are just going to generate you 3-point scoring opportunities. Except the first one. The first one is either a cut or a pick and roll, but after that it's going to be all down screen pin downs for 3-pointers. So you need to understand that concept. You see, so now we have cycled through the whole thing. If you see this branch, that means you've cycled through all the 3-point branches and you're back to square one. So the key to the offense, it is obviously if the free is there, take it, but it's mostly about what you do after the screens. The offense is most likely going to come afterwards. So you're going to use the branches for the movement or easy 3-pointers, but if they're not there, then you attack in other ways. Now, before I go into how you're going to attack, let's just take a look how to trigger the offense. This offense is actually very easy to trigger. It's very fast. So we'll begin with starting the ball from the middle and swinging it to the side. So you see, I'm bringing it up. I'm not calling ISO. I'm just bringing it up. Nice and chill. Middle, I swing the ball to the side, and there it is. Point guard to shooting guard, and that begins all of the branches. And like I said before, it's going to be constantly these ones. You will just throw through these pin downs with 3-pointers again and again and again. And here's another one. You see middle to side, but sometimes you'll get this wing pick and roll. You see it right there. If you use it, it's a drive. If you don't, it'll go back to the 3-point shooting branches again if you swing it. Now here's another trigger. We're going to start from one side with the ball. So we're going to swing it from side to side. And it will also trigger the branches again. You see here, Parsons, small forward, swings it to the shooting guard side to side. And there goes the branches. Same thing, but the free was there this time, so I'm just going to take it. Bang, third. Alright, here's another trigger. The ball starts from the side and we're going to swing it to the middle. So the point guard is here. We're going to swing it to the shooting guard. And this one actually triggers a cut to the basket first. So this is slightly different. But then after that, if you swing it back out to the center, if you don't use the cut, it's going to go back to all of the pin down frees again. So consistent action is really important. Because once you understand what's coming, you can take advantage of the defense. When you see plentiful screen side to side, we hold the ball, Dirk frees the roam. Same thing over again. Now let's take a look at how we score in this offense. So I'm going to start off with the middle to side trigger, and I'm going to show you how I score. So here J.R. Smith is going to bring it up. He's going to stay in the middle, and I'm going to swing it from the middle to the side. There's LeBron. LeBron's going to hold it for a beat, fake the pass, and there's the pick and roll. So if you see this, it's 4-1 spacing, so just use the pick and roll. It is quite deadly. So that's one way to score. Here is another. Middle to side action again to LeBron, hold the ball. Same thing, pick and roll. But this time there was no easy dunk. But because of the 4-1 spacing, we were able to find Deli in the corner after a swing. Beautiful. Lova. So here we begin with JR. He swings it to Deli. And yes, the flush 3.0 family. This freelance offense works great with the flush 3.0. Absolutely deadly. You see Jerome bring it up here. Computer called me an autoplay. So I waved it off by calling an ISO, and I just started the freelance, middle to side again. Wesley screens Dirk flush 3.0. Pay. If you see the screen and the free is not there, you might as well run the flush 3.0. This offense is completely suited for this. Here it is again. We're going to go middle to side to Dirk, to Parsons, And by this time, there's nothing. After 2 branches, you probably want to run a high pick and roll and go back to that 4-1 spacing, because you can't just run the branches all the time, right? You run out of shot clock. So if you're running out of time and after 2 branches, there's no open free, go to your isolation pick and roll or go to the flush 3.0. Now let's take a look at the side to side trigger and how I score out of that. So in transition, there's no middleman, but that's okay. If you swing it from the small forward to the power forward, it once again triggers the branches. Wesley comes off the screen, nothing. Dirk's gonna set a pick for Daron. Daron comes off pretty clean here. So then I like the spacing available, so I'm just gonna call quick ISO, run that high 4-1 pick and roll, use the space, but Julia finishes. You see how Dirk fielded again? Very, very nice freelance spacing. Right, another side to side trigger. Daron's gonna go to Dirk. You just wait it out for a beat or two. If there's nothing, swing it back to Daron. Side to side will eventually trigger the action. Wesley's open enough. That's a free ball. Bang! Here's another side to side. Deli to JR, JR to Deli, back and forth. Deli sets a pin down for LeBron. Not the greatest shooter, so we're just gonna hold on to it, call a quick ISO, use the spacing, high pick and roll, flow right into it. Remember, use the branches to open up other scoring opportunities. Now here is the side to middle trigger scores. So I'm bringing up, I call a quick ISO, but you see the offense still starts quickly. So that depends on what you want. There's that back cut here. If you can lob it, you can lob it, but Kevin Love is not really a leaper, so no lob there for me. But then I'm going back to the pin down branches, but we're going to the flush 3.0. Bang! Alright, and for those of you who are more advanced and like to, you know, create your own stuff, you can probably see it by now. You can actually start off with one trigger and go into another trigger. So I'm going to start off with the side to side trigger and then go into the middle of the side trigger. So you can use that pick and roll, nothing. So I'm just gonna swing the ball. You see, it triggers new branches again. So we started off with one trigger and it didn't work, so we flowed into another trigger and it works just fine. I don't like the branches, so I'm just gonna quick isolation, pick and roll, use that 4-1 again. Bang! Same thing. We're gonna start off with Parsons. He's gonna go to Dirk. I don't want to use the pick and roll. Dirk holds it. Dirk swings it back to Parsons. Now we have once again triggered. We've used 2 trigger at once again. Just make sure you don't call isolation between the triggers. But if you call a quick ISO, then use that 4-1 spacing pick and roll because it's deadly here. Or a flush 3.0. Depends what you want. So let's go to the last clip of the day. Tomorrow's video, I'll show in even more detail how you can score in this within a game on Hall of Fame Sim, so keep an eye out for tomorrow's video. But like I said, it's about what you do after the screens. Like obviously, if the screens opens up a free, take it. But that's most likely it's not going to be there a lot. It will be there, but not a lot. So if it's not there, you can swing it one more time to see if you can open free. If not, you can either run a flush 3.0 or you can call a quick ISO. If the guy coming off the screen is a ball handler, you can catch it, you can call a quick ISO and just run a pick and roll. So you see me here, I'm just showing you the multitude of the branches and how you can break out of them, but they will still come back as long as you stay true to the triggers. So here's the first 3.0. I break it, but I'm still in that spacing. I broke the freelance, but I can just call quick ISO and run a spaced out pick and roll. This is the essence of this freelance. It's about what you do afterwards, after the screens. And one shout out to my man on Twitter, LA Dragons. For those of you on Xbox and you would like to join a Pro-Am squad, hit up my man, my friend. I'll leave his Twitter handle on the bottom. He runs a very sim offense. I actually talk to him all the time. So if you join his Pro-Am squad on Xbox, you'll be pretty much running a lot of my offense and his. So a hybrid of it. So hit up my man, LA Dragons on Twitter if you want to join his Xbox Pro-Am squad. He's looking for all types of players. Not so much point guards, but hey, who knows? Just give him a shout out. I'm giving him a shout out. Talk to him on Twitter and he'll know. And tomorrow there will be even more detailed version of this motion 4-out 1-in. So thanks for coming by. I'll see all of you next time.